Hi everyone, welcome to the fifth episode in our K-pop talk. And today we'll be talking about a final topic with Brittany, with us in this podcast. And obviously it's related to K-pop and or maybe Korea as a whole. And today's topic will be talking about military enlistment. And so military enlistment basically is when Korean men, typically they go at the age of 18 um, to the military, and they kind of like do a military service basically, kind of like a community service, but a military service where they serve in the military for like 2 years and they train basically in the military. So the reason why this whole thing even started to begin with in Korea was to prepare the men of Korea just in case a war were to break out. For example, between South Korea and North Korea. So basically, to make sure that everyone is prepared if a war does, in case a break out. So today we'll be talking about military service or military enlistment for Koreans versus military enlistment for a K-pop idol. So now, like I said, typically a Korean male would go into the military enlistment at the age of 18. However, it works differently if you are part of the K-pop industry. You typically go towards maybe when you're about to reach your 30s. So maybe 28, 29. However, if you do discuss as a K-pop idol with your entertainment company, they can perhaps allow you to go earlier. And if they do allow you to go earlier, typically it's because they know that the Korean idol life does become difficult when you do come back, because literally you disappear for 2 years. When you come back, the K-pop industry has changed. We are leaving the third generation, we're entering the fourth generation of K-pop. And if you live between, if you leave for a military enlistment within this period, it can become difficult when you come back, because now obviously the type of K-pop that you did is now updated, and now you have to keep up with the times. So, Brittany, there's been a lot of controversy going on in terms of military enlistment. People saying that it's unfair.
Yeah.
That a lot of Korean men in general, who are not K-pop idols, go to the military. It's basically mandatory for them to do it. They don't have a choice. If they don't do it, they get kicked. They can get kicked out of the country. Basically, they have they run the risk of being kicked out of the country. I think one specific male celebrity did not want to partake in military enlistment, and he got kicked out. So it's a must for if you are a Korean male, to go to a military enlistment. If the only exception is if you have a disability or a mental health issue, that's the only time that you're actually not allowed to serve in the military. And even within the military enlistment, there are different levels to that. So you can even serve in a police station as a police officer, or you can actually be an actual soldier. It varies basically. So the controversy has been that if you're not a celebrity, obviously it's mandatory. But if you are a celebrity, it's not so strict. For example, BTS have been very, very famous, not just in Korea, but international wise. And so people are like basically saying, well, BTS needs to be excused from serving in the military. Do you think that BTS has earned their right to not serve in the military, or do you think that it's unfair?
I think that as a Korean, they've all grown up in Korea, and it's this thing of in their country, like Koreans, if you haven't gone to the military, they will kind of be like, oh, but like, no, like, regardless of what you did for the country, you should have gone. Like,
Yeah.
it's your duty as a Korean.
Protect your country.
Yeah, to protect your country. And here is where, like, you take all the titles away from every Korean man that there is. and you say like regardless of whether or not I work in the supermarket, you are the hugest celebrity
In the
internationally,
world,
whatever the
yeah.
case may be, you still need to serve your country. It's part of what it means to be a Korean as a
And
man,
yeah,
especially in their
in
country.
protecting your nation from a threat.
Exactly. And so I think that if something had to happen between North Korea and South Korea, I feel as if they would have, felt bad that they can't protect the country
Yeah,
because
and they wouldn't
they
know
were
what to do
excluded.
in an emergency state, basically.
I mean, I'm sure that they have sisters, they have mothers, obviously sisters, I'm not sure. At that point, like, they would feel maybe less of a man. Like, I'm not saying that
Yeah.
there's certain roles attached to certain people, but I feel like in South Korea, that is like seen like your manlyhood and like being
Yeah.
a man.
And Korea is very, very, very an advocate for gender roles,
strict gender roles, you're right. And so, with that being said, I don't think that they should be excluded. I felt like they've done a lot, even getting the cultural award. Each of them, I think, something like that, they got this
Yeah.
type of award
Yeah.
for what they've done. And the army was actually saying no, but they've done so much for Korea.
They shouldn't.
They shouldn't. And I mean, who are the fans to say what is going on in their lives? Maybe all of the members feel that they have this obligation
that they have to
towards
serve their country.
and even like we don't know what's going on in their family though. Like their family might be like, yes, you've done so beautifully, you've done everything you've done your things, like you've achieved your goals, you've bought a house, all of those things. But like as a Korean, like you still, regardless of your title, you still need to do what is needed of you.
And being a Korean singer is not gonna help you during the war. You're not gonna sing your way out of
exactly.
a war,
You won't be
basically.
dancing chicken noodle soup.
Chicken noodle soup.
Wow.
Where while North Korea is busy attacking you left, right, and center, basically.
Yeah.
Do you think that perhaps the reason why these fans, because it's specifically international fans who feel this way, Korean fans don't necessarily feel like Korean idols should be excluded, but a lot of international fans feel like these idols should be excluded from military service. Do you think perhaps it's because they want obviously to see their oppas on TV? They can't see themselves not seeing BTS for the next 2 years. Obviously, for example, they always want BTS, for example, to always be on TV, to always be promoting, to always be making music, to always see them. And when they're in the military, it's very difficult to keep up with the lives of Jungkooks and V's and all that, because they're literally not necessarily always on social media. They're not posting everything they have to do. Nobody really 100% fully knows what actually goes on within the military service. And obviously these kids spend their whole entire lives, or days rather, on social media, stalking Jungkook, stalking Rap Monster and all of that stuff. And so when they go into military service, it's very difficult to track all of this.
I think as a true fan, I feel as if like you would respect their culture specifically, because that is part of their culture, that is their country's rules. And so therefore, if you are an army or if you're just a fan, you would respect the fact that they need to do this. There's things in life that you have to do. And if you are supportive, like for example, these people are like fantasizing and obsessive and all of those type of things,
right,
and supportive of their albums and their personal lives and their run episodes, whatever the case may be, if you are actually supportive of the group as a whole, you would understand
be supportive of them going to
military. And if they do come out, be exactly the same supportive way
before they went
in. Yes, it's a 2-year gap, but if you really cared, like they say, like you care about your artist, you care about your oppa, like you said, you would understand that this is what they need, this is what they need to do, it's part of the culture. Same thing like in any country, there's certain things in your culture that you just have to do. It's part of maybe your religion, part of your country's standards, whatever the case may be. This is what it's like. And so, like I said, I feel like if you're a real fan, you would understand. Like I feel as if the international fans, because they don't take the Korean, I'm not saying all, but some of them like are being selfish at that point.
Right.
Like
they only think about themselves, and they think that they have a say over the K-pop idol, because now they invest so much money in BTS
mm.
tickets, CDs, supporting them on the live concerts and all of that.
Yeah. No, but like regardless of all of the things that they've done, they need to understand that as a Korean person, this is what it's like. And so if you only want this person to yourself, basically,
Right.
then you are not a true fan, and you're not really.
And basically, you're not necessarily getting them to yourself. You're sharing
Yeah.
them with billions of other
Exactly.
fans around the world.
And there is it's you were mentioning that the Korean fans are like, no, like they don't, they're not like saying, oh, they shouldn't go to military because they are Korean, they understand it's an
Yeah.
obligation. And so therefore, like, the international fans need to look past their K-pop status and look at like the cultural and like
Yeah.
the country standards behind the reason why they need to go to the enlistment.
And a lot of problems with a lot of international fans is they love to force their own cultures and their own preferences on Korean society, specifically on K-pop, on the K-pop industry and the K-pop idols. They love to want the world, or for K-pop idols to think the way they think, and it's unfair to do that because K-pop is a whole ball game of its own.
Yeah.
It consists of Koreans who have different thinking processes, different culture, different historical context, and you cannot force them to now start thinking the way that you're thinking, basically.
It's the same thing of like you coming in and you wanting to come and colonize basically the K-pop world, and
Right, you're colonizing.
yeah,
basically.
you're colonizing basically, putting your own, your own
Like, hey,
beliefs,
it's either my way or the highway type of
which
thing.
is so crazy because like, yes, they wanted to be recognized internationally, and but at the same time, like, where do you draw the line though? Like, you need to understand that this is Korean culture and embedded in K-pop. And so therefore, like, you need to, as a fan or as an army fan or whatever fandom you're from, you need to understand that this is what it is, and be supportive.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think about the whole situation? So G-Dragon from what's Big Bang?
Big Bang, yeah.
Right. So when he went into the military service, actually, he gained weight. Not because he, I don't know, just let himself go, but he looks healthy, basically. And so people are saying that actually in the military, health is very important and you always need to be healthy. So they feed you the proper nutrients, they give you a proper medical care, compared to if you're actually an idol and you are working and you're attending 3 concerts in one day, you're eating 1 sweet potato a day. So basically people are saying, well, these idols are being treated more well in military than they are in the K-pop industries. So do you think that in general military service is needed in Korea, not just for them to serve their country, but for the well-being of these idols, because those 2 years are the only time that they actually get some type of rest, which is weird.
It really does sound weird because usually when you hear people talk about military, it's
Yeah.
like they're scared to go, and
It's
like
intense.
it's intense and like it's crazy. But like, if you see the posts of these various artists that has been to the military,
Yeah.
they seem like much more happier.
They're
though.
so
They're
happy.
smiling,
They're smiling.
and they're not wearing these makeup and all of this. And like, I'm not saying that they don't want to wear makeup, but like, I'm saying like it's
They
their
look at
natural
peace.
self. Yeah.
And they look at peace.
And they look at peace, and they do look. I've seen a picture of G-Dragon, and like, I was actually quite shocked to like, and he looked really nice. He looked healthy, compared to how he looked in
when he was performing, when he
yes, when
looked,
he's
literally
super skinny.
like his chin was just like bulging out, because you could see that
out.
it was like a malnourished sort of kind of,
Yeah.
because the diets are very strict.
Yeah.
Nobody has time for resting. Basically, you're always in the public eye. The pictures that we've seen of G-Dragon are just few pictures. Like I said earlier, it's quite difficult to track down what they do all the time in the military. But the few pictures that they do release, they look happy, they look well fed. So now another thing that came out is that apparently G-Dragon was getting special treatment within the military because of the fact that it's a celebrity. So when other people will be training, apparently we'd be in the hospital, laying in bed, doing nothing, just resting. What do you think of that dynamic?
I think that, it's wrong, obviously, because just because you are a celebrity doesn't mean that you
Must get special
special treatment.
Because even in a war, the wars don't look at you if you're rich or not. You have to fight.
They're not. North Korea's not gonna come attack you with like guns, God forbid, and
First
like, oh,
ask if
you
you-
G-Dragon.
Oh,
let's
sorry,
leave you-
let's not
let's
leave
let's
you.
leave you alone. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't work like that. So yeah, like special treatment, it's a no-go, because at that point, like, everybody needs to be looking past what you've accomplished. We're looking past your status in
You're
Korea.
literally
You
trying
exactly
to
the
save
same.
the lives of the whole country. basically.
Exactly. Because if they can't be sending out a group of men and half of them are K-pop idols and the other half are just plain Korean men, and half of the team has to carry the K-pop idols' weight because they didn't train properly.
Right.
It's that thing of like, this is your country. And I think as an artist, even if like as a Korean artist, K-pop artist, you should have you should have trained and like said, this is my culture, this
Right.
this is who I am, like I need to do this, I need to try my best, because at the end of the day I could actually protect my family, my country.
Yeah. Do you think that military service, regardless of whether you are a K-pop idol or not, do you think that it should be compulsory? Going back to that K-pop celebrity who was kicked out of the country because he didn't want to serve in the military. Do you think that it's a must? Do you think that it should be compulsory for them to go to military if they do have the ability to go?
I think that, as I'm not Korean, obviously, and so if it's their culture and the rules of the country, and people have been doing
Yeah,
it for
for
ages
years,
and centuries and things like that, you should
do
go.
it.
You should go, because why should you be treated better than the next person? And I think that the government had every right to ban this person from the country, because all Korean men are doing it.
Yes,
and
they've
so
been doing it for many years. Why should you now? Because you don't want.
because you don't want
Yeah.
to, you losing your citizenship, your nationality
Right.
because of it. And I mean, like, obviously we can just talk here, we don't know what it's really like there, but obviously the country has specific reasons why they want this to be done.
Right.
And as just like South Africans, like, there's certain things that we need to do, we have to do it.
Yeah.
And we can't come and be like, no, but you don't want to,
Okay.
it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
You have to do what you need to do.
End of the day, it's not about yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously now we've been talking about this whole military service thing, and we've been talking about male idols or Korean males. Do you think that they should also apply the same rules to females in general, Korean females, and also to Korean K-pop female idols? Do you think they should also do the same?
I think this is where I'm on the fence. As in the Korean society, usually, I think traditionally, they're very traditional. Men are the breadwinners, and women
Right.
are usually the ones and
The stay at home
that
and
stay
nurture.
nurtures. And so if the government, like I said, like, I'm not gonna be like, yes, women should go to military.
Right.
Like, I mean, it depends on if that. I think that for me personally, like, I would have like the woman, like, if they want to go. Or actually no, I would actually say that, like, I feel like it really depends. Like, I feel like if you had to compare, if you North Korea, they're training only the men, right? So if women were also trained in battle, were the same with South
Right.
Korean men, I feel like a lot of women's lives will be lost, and they might get raped or something like that, because obviously
It's
just
possible.
it's
It's
just
possible.
it's just that thing of men are stronger than women, like in terms of like body and things like that. And I feel as if like if they had a war had to break out, um you know, it it would more so be to South Korea's downfall, because maybe women would be captured and like
And in wars, it's always like that. Women do typically get captured. They do typically become
same with the
sex slaves, whatever the
Japanese.
case. Yeah.
The Japanese men used
Comfort women and all of that.
yeah, and so I feel as if like women, like I can't say I can't say that maybe some women they want to be a soldier. I feel like that's their own personal thing. And so you know, if the government wanted to do something, you know, maybe have women trainers, you know, in nursing or something like that, so if they do something does happen, you know. But then again, that's just my own but then again, I'm not Korean, and I don't know, you know, I don't know if, you know, women want that, or men, the government actually want that. And then again, the government is, you know, the higher authority of the
And
country.
they typically patriarchal.
Yeah. So in that sense, I feel like it really it's up to the government.
Yeah. So you think that maybe they should maybe open it up a option for if you do want to sign up?
I think so. I think that it probably it would be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. So that they themselves decide whether or not they wanna partake in it. So that's not compulsory for women to partake in, but if they want to, then
I think that's where like a lot of K-pop fans are like, but now why should males be allowed and why should females not be
Yeah.
allowed, and like shouldn't there shouldn't be a binary, and like there
Yeah.
shouldn't be like specific roles being
Right.
set out for K-pop artists that are male and K-pop artists that are you know females.
female
And so but then again, that stems from their own culture.
culture. Yeah.
And so because Korea is a traditional country, that is what their country is, and that is how it is. So now you can't come and colonize and press your own ideas and you know, things on in Korea.
Right. Right. Yeah, basically that's what it boils down to. Basically, I think, like I think we've said in this podcast, and I think what we've said in the other episodes is that when it comes to things like K-pop and things that are relating to Korean society, we can only just comment. We are looking inside through the window, but we can never force our own opinions on those people, because we are different nations, and if we do that, then we are just basically low-key becoming like what the colonizers did, the different various colonizers did to other nations around the world throughout history. Basically, we can never force our own cultures on other people. That's not the point. The reason why we're even liking K-pop to begin with is because it's different. It offers something different. So whenever we try to force our own thinking on them, we are low-key changing K-pop, and it will obviously no longer be K-pop. So any final thoughts, like as we always do in each episode, is there anything you'd like to say, a conclusion or advice or critique?
No, I think I've said it all. I think that K-pop is obviously this fantasy world where you know, people can go there and create, like everything is perfect in that world. Everything is, you know, it's, you have the perfect set of friends, eat together, everything is just perfect. And that's what I think a lot of K-pop fans like, the fact that, you know, our lives are not that great, and so we love our lives through our K-pop artists.
Right.
And so I think that's what makes us, you know, feel so attracted and you know, attached, sorry, to K-pop.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's been such an interesting set of topics that we've done, and like I've learned so much, and I feel like it's making me understand K-pop even better.
Right. So this is our last day with Brittany. She's been with us for the past 5 days, and we've got to basically delve deep into like different issues within K-pop, and we hope that we've enlightened you guys one way or another and giving you a different perspective on K-pop, and that K-pop goes beyond just being a genre. We hope that you guys enjoyed this. I brought her onto the show because I knew that she knows a lot about K-pop because she's been a K-pop fan for the past 3 years. Well, she started in 2016, and so she knows a lot about it. And like she said, wants to move to Korea one day. And and what else would you like to do in Korea?
And obviously, like, give the fans that were in my position before, like, a more closer kind of like a closer relationship with K-pop, like being able to like have like Instagram videos posted there of like the music shows that I've been to, the concerts, the fan signings, so that you know that whoever like is not able to, especially in like our country, to see what it's really like, just to like have them, you know, have like a more closer type of bond with the K-pop world.
Thank you so much, Brittany, for coming on to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Fun having you.
We had so great
talks. And it was just interesting, just engaging in K-pop from a different understanding, different angle. So thank you, and guys, I will see you next time, next place, next week, with hopefully another guest to delve into other subtopics within K-pop. Thank you for joining us. Bye.